In a world where quality business information is needed, we bring you On the Mic with Mike, the leading social enterprise business show in RVA. Join Mike King, the partnership guru, as he delivers game changers in Metro RVA. On the Mic with Mike showcases how business can help make society better. He discusses tech, culture, innovation, best business practices, and highlighting area nonprofits. Join Mike Monday through Friday, because it is the place where the best and brightest come to chat.
Yeah, Mike King isn't a businessman, he's a businessman with his own talk show. On the Mic with Mike is the best business radio program in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike, the premier business radio program in the area. I'm your host, Mike King, and I appreciate you being here with me. The views expressed here by have no connection to, support of, agreement with any other host, information, or ads on the station. I don't work for the station. My program just airs here on a daily basis, and I'm grateful of that to be able to bring these game-changing folks to you. On the Mic with Mike, we highlight partnerships, people, social enterprise. We even touch on some issues of the day. To follow me on social platforms, it is Mike King Biz. Hashtag On the Mic with Mike. On the Mic with Mike, we are out here talking to business owners, people who are making a difference in the community. We'd like to thank our sponsors of the program, Tom Childry, the credit card guy. If you have a business and you need to get paid, he's an expert at the credit card processing service. So Tom Childry, credit card guy. Andy Taylor and Junk Luggers. If you have things around the household that you need removed, that's things, not people. Don't call Andy Taylor for people. If you have hot tubs and things of that nature, call Andy Taylor. They're eco-friendly, do a lot in the community, which is why I rock with them. But if you got people around the house that you need to be gone, stop giving gas money, stop cooking, stop doing those things. And then maybe they might leave. I'm not sure, but they might. On the Mic with Mike, we'd like to thank our sponsor as well, Mama Michelle's Cafe, best cafe, Southside Richmond. Also, you can catch her on the Culture Mix on Taste on TV. We are the best business radio program around. It is my honor to bring the man that you wake up to in the morning. John Rogers is here from WRIC. Good morning, sir.
Thank you, man. Such an honor to be here. Appreciate the invite, Mike.
Okay, so you still have that same smile right there that you see.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about the journey, journalism, and being on the forefront of history now that we're here, and talk a little about the journalist aspect. So where are you from?
So I'm a military brat. My dad was in the Air Force, and I was actually born and raised in the country of Panama, and I traveled all over the U.S.
All righty. So a military kid. You guys, my kids were that way as well. You see a lot of different places. You get to interact with a lot of different people. Mm-hmm. When did you catch the journalism bug?
I caught the journalism bug in high school, honestly, because I realized I stunk at math and science. I actually really wanted to be an astronaut, and it just wasn't for me, sadly. So at the time, I guess it was a godsend. The TV program was having auditions for new cast members. And just for kicks, I auditioned. I didn't think much of it, but that teacher, she saw something in me and took me under her wing and mentored me and brought me along with the team. And I just fell in love with it. And sadly, she actually died. Her name is Miss Goolsby. She died of cancer before she ever saw me become a journalist. And so I keep a picture of our class at my desk every day, and I carry with that with me everywhere I go.
So you're out there in the public. You're out there being a journalist. What's the coolest part about being a journalist?
Oh, man. The coolest part, I think, obvious, is being at the forefront of history. You just get to witness firsthand, talk to the playmakers. You get opportunities that the average citizen doesn't get, like to talk with presidential candidates or historical figures. But also, aside from that, you get the opportunity to really embrace a community, get involved in the community, and share these amazing, heartwarming, inspirational stories. And sadly, sometimes the sad stories, too, which are important to know about. And that's why I get the most out of it.
Really quickly, I'd be remiss. I'd like to thank the leadership over WRIC, because I always say when we have the folks, having talent out on the street, I appreciate them, with signing off when you come here. It is a big thing, and I do appreciate that. So just want to get that out of the way. So you're a journalist, but also, sir, you are a TV star. People wake up with you, and we talked about the looks that you get, like, people look at you like, I know that guy. Where do I know that guy from?
Yeah, I sometimes I'll play along with them, like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'm your, related to your cousin, or something like that. Like, I'll start toying with them a little bit, and eventually I kind of let it spill. But I don't really see myself as a celebrity. The way I see it, everyone has important jobs to do, as do you, as do everyone. And I see myself, I'm just doing my job, and instead of staring at a computer screen each day, I'm staring at a camera, and there happens to be a lot of people on the other side of that camera. And I try not to let anything get to my head.
Alrighty, so you went to school for journalism?
Yes, I went to Florida State. Go Noles.
Oh, there you go. Okay, alrighty. So when did you realize that you may be able to do this journalistic thing, and when did TV become part of it?
Well, I think right when I was in high school, involved with that class, that's what really gave me the bug. And then at Florida State, I had these amazing mentors that truly saw something in me, and they gave me opportunities. I worked at the university, covering like local news in the university, big research projects. Sometimes if celebrities came to visit the campus, and I had the opportunity to learn firsthand. When you deal with academics, sometimes like they'll have something very fascinating. Here's this crazy study, this amazing invention, but they're so highbrow that they really can't speak to a normal human. And so my job was to interview these people. And I was on the radio at the local NPR station at the time. And I also was part of a TV program, the local PBS station. And so I would digest what they were saying and present it in a way that the average person could understand. And I actually developed a little following on the local NPR station at the time while I was in college. And that was like really uplifting, like, wow, my work really reaches the masses and it can really inform and inspire. I'm teaching you something new. And that was just so exciting to me. And that's what drives me to get to work every day, that I have the chance to take this bulk of information and present it to the audience in a very interesting way.
On the mic with Mike, John Rogers is here from WRIC. He is here. He is the morning anchor along with the crew there. It's always, so that's what we wake up with. Shout out to you guys there. So really quickly, there's a kid somewhere who's watching TV and they see you, Katie Dupree, or, Matt, or anyone who's there. And they wonder, how do you make that happen? There's a kid somewhere who has a dream. How do they turn that into John Rogers?
In this world we're in today, it's anyone has the capability. Most people have their phones. They're able to create videos, go on TikTok and Instagram. Even now, opportunities that I didn't have when I was a teenager in the early 2000s. And, really the main thing is just to be curious, try to have a yearning to learn about what's going on in your community, and interest and excitement about learning and being able to pass that on to others. And with these phones, I mean, shoot, there are kids on TikTok that can edit better than I can. So
that's for sure.
As long as you know how to make videos, how to edit, and how to be fun and presentable on camera, the sky's the limit.
Alrighty, so a recent memorable interview that you had.
Oh my gosh, let's see. Probably off the top of my head, I'd say there are two. One was I got the chance to meet Neil Armstrong a couple months before he died.
Okay, that's a big one.
That's a big one. Although at the time, Neil Armstrong was Neil Armstrong. He could do whatever he wanted. So we were supposed to have an interview, but he decided last minute he didn't feel like doing it. So I wasn't offended. I did get a photograph with him, so I'm cool with that. But that same day, I got to interview Gene Cernan, who, if you remember your history, he was the last man to walk on the moon. So in one day, I met the first man and the last man to walk on the moon. And talking to him, which was spectacular. It blew me away, just hearing his recollections of what it was like to walk on the surface of the moon and how majestic it was. Yeah, and being able to cover the earth with your thumb. He said he actually found God when he was on the moon.
See, ladies and gentlemen, on the mic with Mike King, John Rogers here. Drop it. Those are words of wisdom that he has. He's given it to us here on ESPN Richmond, 5 to 7 a.m. That's where we are. You can find him from 4:30 to 7 every morning, WRIC, doing, outstanding work. Let's talk about the news aspect of it. How hard is it when people see you delivering hard news? How do you sometimes not become jaded with it?
It's hard. We're especially seeing that nowadays. We're all talking about the great resignation. I'm sure you've talked about it. It's impacting news too, because a lot of people are burnt out. You really have to check yourself every day. There are days when I come home, I'll sit in my car and I'll just kind of process the day, and I'll be like, you know what, I just kind of need to let this go. And there are days, honestly, I when I talk to my wife at dinner, she'll be like, how's your day? I'll be like, you know what, I talked about, some really difficult stories today, and I may tell her about it, or may be like, honestly, I just need to forget about this. I don't want to talk about it again. You just got to really check your mental health. And that's why I'm glad about this world we're in today, where there's really some of the negative stigma of mental health has dissipated.
That's
and now
for sure.
people are embracing the importance of taking care of yourself. And I think that's the most important thing that journalists need to do. They need to be very mindful of how they're doing. And if they can't handle something, then step back. And that's what I try to do.
One of the things I don't think that people see the part of TV that it plays in our lives. You guys are on the forefront of the information that we get. Your job is to challenge things and to bring us information. So when the whole world got put on timeout with the thing called Rona, it put pressure on you guys, because where are we getting that information from? You guys are getting information from everywhere. And sometimes from the business aspect, certain things go away because you guys offer a public service.
Oh, yeah.
That you scrap things for the public good. Yeah. And that's for sure, that people don't just get.
Yeah, we have to be very mindful of everything we share. That's like, for example, like suicides. We're very mindful anytime we have any story involving a suicide, because we don't want to promote any copycat behavior, and we want to be very, very careful and respectful of the families going through that tragedy. So we are very thoughtful of every very serious story and any images from that. There was a big controversy over in the West Coast where there was a video shown on a station or presented on a station's website where it showed a dead body from a car accident, and there was a lot of uproar over that video being there. So we have to be very careful in everything we do. But with the pandemic, like you mentioned, that was interesting, and is interesting reporting on that, because there's so many developments in real time. Like, we're waiting for the vaccine. Okay, now here's the vaccine. You can get 2 shots. Oh, now you need a booster shot as well. And we're constantly learning alongside the public and the scientists. Like, we're all on this journey together, and that's been exciting, but very difficult. That's contributed as to why some people have not been happy with the media, because it seems like the story is constantly evolving, but it's just because we're all together learning how to get through this pandemic.
I had Dr. Rob Wynn on the other day from Massey Cancer, and he had said, because seemed like you guys came up with this vaccine. People are kind of curious, how do you come up with something so quickly? And he goes through this isn't quick. We've been working on this since the 80s. We just tweaked it a little bit, and then here, we're able to find a vaccine to help people. I told him, end users like us don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. We get our information. And he says, yeah, that's a lot of times you're out there fighting against Dr. TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to take off the TV personality hat and put on a journalist hat.
Okay.
There's a lot of information out there. Explain to listeners the level that has to happen for things to make it to TV or newspapers from a journalistic standpoint, as opposed to me in my basement somewhere tweeting something out. And I happen to have some followers. I didn't get any. It wasn't corroborated. It was just me. And next thing you know, people are holding it as fact. School them, please, sir.
Well, that's the crazy world we live in. I mean, up till recently, if you want to get a message to the masses, as you know, it took a lot of effort and equipment going on the radio, going on television and whatnot. Now, if you own a phone, you can send your message to the entire planet. So it is very difficult. For us, we really scrutinize everything we get. Of course, we get emails like, I heard this rumor on TikTok. I heard this. Why aren't you talking about this or that? And we're not oblivious. We hear the same stuff you guys do, but we have sources that we have to make sure we confirm this information with. We always confirm with multiple sources. We rarely, if ever, go with one source. We got to corroborate with the federal authorities, or like medical authorities, for example, since we're on the topic of COVID. And we got to make sure that the information we're presenting is something that's verified and authentic. We can't just go with any willy-nilly theory that people are throwing out there. And that's the aim that we try to do. And all this cacophony of noise that we're experiencing in this world today, we want to try to aim to be someone that you can trust, a friend that you welcome into your homes, and to have the knowledge that we are working our tails off night and day to make sure that the information we're presenting to you is credible and fair and balanced. And if we just complete that task to the best of our ability every day. The hope is people will trust us and not these wild rumors that they hear on TikTok.
Because those rumors fly out the door. They go around the world really quickly. On the mic with Mike here, ESPN Richmond 106, Mike King, John Rogers. We got to go away for a moment. As I always say, microphone ain't free, plus my grandkids need stuff. So we'll be back in a moment. Thanks.
Hi, this is Andy with Junk Luggers. Have you ever wondered why you see the big green junk lugger trucks racing all over town?
Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business, man.
Michael Mike's. From the Michael Mike's. Michael Mike's. My name is Isabella, and you're listening to Mike King Biz. Hubby, that's my scam.
On the mic with Mike, ESPN Richmond is part of the Mike King Biz Radio Network. Yeah, that's my grandkids. They're going to get
cute.
They're going to get the name of the program right at some point. I don't know what happens with them. Mike King, John Rogers is here with us. He is the morning anchor from WRIC. Welcome back to the program, sir.
Hey, great to be here, man.
All righty. So let's talk about you have a lot of friends who are journalists.
Oh, yeah.
But you, sir, were at the forefront of history with the statues and everything that went on with Richmond. How'd that make you feel?
It was fascinating.
I bet it was.
Yeah. So I had just moved here January 2020, and wow, the world immediately shut down. And then you have racial unrest happening here and all across the world. It was incredible to watch this unfold, just literally witnessing history about this city really reckoning with its past and the future.
One of the things you get is, and I tell people, I've lived through certain things being older, but that was something that was huge from a historical standpoint. So you're covering that every day. You're there explaining what's happening. The statues are coming down. Mayor Stoney, I interviewed Mayor Stoney before, and I asked him, what will history say about LeVar Stoney 100 years from now? He said that I wanted to be transformational. I said, sir, when you snatch the statues down, you made an imprint.
I think so.
You
Sure.
did. So when your friends are hitting you up saying, are they asking you what's going on in Richmond?
Yeah, and friends on both sides. You know, I had friends that were in support and friends that were very, against it, saying like, hey, this is history. Just leave those statues alone. What's wrong with the city that you're living in? You know, and clearly there are arguments on both sides. But ultimately, there is a fundamental truth that we have to realize is that, those symbols reflect a very dark stain in our country. And is it worth promoting it? That is above my pay grade to decide.
That is true. So now when you were as a journalist, what's it like when you are covering something historical? That this isn't something, so 9/11 affected, 9/11 affected New York, Pennsylvania, somewhat. The pandemic comes along, so you get a twofer when you come to Richmond. You get a real two-piece. It starts with the pandemic. The whole world gets shut down while saying, welcome to Richmond, John. John Rogers.
Now you're locked in your house.
Exactly. You ain't seeing nothing here. This city, you go, oh my goodness, you're going to Richmond, all these things, and you come here.
Nothing.
Nothing. And then on the backside, smack dab in the middle of the pandemic, you get the racial unrest.
I'll tell you what, it was unbelievable, just in a lightning fast fashion, how much the world changed in just a matter of months. I mean, frankly, really in the spring, March or April, is when we really started seeing shutdowns occur in the city and across the country. And then within a couple months after that, Memorial Day of 2020, that's when George Floyd died. And just witnessing that was incredible, just how fast the whole world changed, how fast Richmond changed, how within scene overnight, suddenly there were fires and protests and statues coming down. And with the whole world stuck in their houses, ratings just shot up.
I can imagine.
And it really showed the importance of what we do. You don't get those sorts of events every day. And when they do happen, you got to take advantage of it and make sure that you present the information in a clearer context and really document history. Journalists are frankly modern day historians.
That is true. And you're on the front line of, and you're shaping what we get. What was the energy in the newsroom day after day when we're going through that?
It was excitement and a little fear. All across the country, there were journalists that were being attacked. We weren't immune. There was nothing really at my station. None of our reporters were ever in any danger. But some were definitely faced a lot of verbal assaults. We had one reporter that someone threw like a can of soda at them. And there came a point where we had to be very cautious over our news coverage. So we actually stripped all of the logos from our cars. And there were some protests going on downtown that we wanted to cover, but we couldn't because they're frankly hit lists, or like they're people that were aware of who we were. And we were cautious that we would be, possibly hurt in some way or a target of verbal assaults. And so our management wisely chose to keep us away from that environment, to keep us safe. So it was really difficult. It was exciting in one sense to see this history unfolding, but it was difficult too because a lot of people really turned on us.
There you go. John Rogers is here. How can people follow besides getting up with you from 4:30 to 7 every morning?
Well, we're also on from 9 to 10 as well. Of course, there's our website, wric.com, and we're all over social media as well.
All right, so here we're going to go over your schedule again. So if you're there with us at 4:30, what time do you get to the station?
Ooh,
he said, "Woo."
I need to be at the station at 3. So I'll say officially I'm at the station at 3. Sometimes I do come in a few minutes late. It is early.
That is true. Okay, so you're there at 3. You go on at 4:30. What time do you get off?
Ooh, that's the nice thing. So sometimes I do the noon newscast every once in a while. So on those days, I'll get up at 12:30. But if I'm not doing the noon, I'm done with work by like 9:45. So my weekend would start at 9:45
your
on a
weekend
Friday.
Starts exactly at 9:45. That leaves a lot of the day.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have all day. But now, if you're responsible, you got to go to bed at a decent hour.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Some people, they do naps. Some of my colleagues do naps. I can't handle that. Naps mess me up. So I try to go to sleep around 7:30, but it's still not enough time for sleep.
There you go. Mike King, John Rogers is here. Sir, thank you for coming on the program. It's an honor. So it's always great, folks. The journalism bug is out there. I respect it. It is something, they are modern day historians. So Mike King, you can follow me on social platforms, which is Mike King Biz, as well as On the Mic with Mike. We bring you the best and the brightest here. That's what we do. We bring game changers to you. Welcome to Richmond. So you've been here a couple of years. The town is opening up for you finally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you're getting to see one of the good parts about coming here, because you were welcome with Corona and then racial unrest. Boy, you picked the time to come. That's for
no
sure.
kidding.
On the Mic with Mike. We will talk to you soon. Thanks now. Take care. RV's best.